So now, Jim and fans, we come to the climax of the Northwest Open Table Tennis Championships here at the Paddle Palace in Portland, Oregon. This will be the Open Men's Singles Final, and it should be a dandy as Quang Bui and Dean Doyle get together, two young men who have shown great skills throughout this tournament to date, who have earned their rankings very high in the Pacific Northwest, and they're going to go at it now in a best 3 games out of 5 competition that will settle once and for all the championship men's singles in the Pacific Northwest Open here at the Paddle Palace in Portland. It's been a great thrill, a great treat covering all of the action up to now, and this is the kind of match where I think you could almost just sit back and relax and enjoy the excitement, because these two have shown style, they've shown class, they've shown ability. We talk about table tennis requiring things like great eyesight and dexterity and physical skill and strength and courage. Well, we've seen it all in these two young men, Jim.
Yes, we have. The semifinals that we saw earlier were just terrific matches. Bui and Doyle both coming out ahead. The youngsters defeating the older and seemingly more experienced players, Bui at 17 and Dean Doyle at 19. These players have played each other a lot of different matches. They know each other's styles. Both of them are going to be coming out for the offense, trying to control the table, drive the opponent back. It ought to be a very close, very exciting match.
Don Nash is the umpire. We, of course, have seen Dean Doyle earlier in the hard rubber finals here on this particular show. We saw Bui on an earlier show. He's out of Bellevue, Washington, 17 years old, a member of the U.S. junior team. He is on the right wearing the dark blue. That is Dean Doyle there as they rally a bit here getting ready. And young Quang Bui out of Bellevue has had quite a background in the game. He represented the USA in the Pan American Games in '79. He was a member of the U.S. team in the 1980 Canadian Open, an extremely serious young player, and he is currently ranked number 2 in the under-17 division, as well as being a finalist here in the Open Men's Singles Championship against Doyle. Dean Doyle is 19 years old, a bit older. He's ranked number 2 in the Northwest, but obviously has a shot right now at being number 1 in this tournament, and he makes his home here in Portland. A young man we told you earlier got into the game of table tennis because he went to a baseball doubleheader and found that boring and decided to come right here to this building and learn to play the game with some friends. He liked it, and he has been at it ever since, and he has become very, very good at it. So there you have them. Dean Doyle in the green will be at the moment on your left, and Quang Bui, 17 years old, in the dark blue. He's over on your right. These are both very expressive players when they play, Jim.
Yes, they are. You'll see the emotion, the tension in their facial expressions, the effort they put into shots. They both, as we say in the language today, they both go for it. And they're both out to take the offense away from the opponent. I think Bui's offense is a little stronger because he has the loop stroke, the heavy topspin shot, plus the flat smash, whereas Dean Doyle relies mostly on the loop, which is a shot that's easier to block and keep in play than the flat hit.
They will play 3 out of 5. The first to win 3 games will, of course, put away the championship of the men's singles in the Northwest Open, and we're ready to get it underway. They've had the coin toss. They have selected their ends of the table for the start of the match, and the server will be Dean Doyle, and we're about ready to get it underway. 19-year-old Dean Doyle serving to 17-year-old Quang Bui, and this is the championship event, men's singles. And the first point goes to Bui. He breaks the ice here and takes the lead. Attacks the net and makes it 0-2.
There's that overpowering flat hit by Quang Bui.
Flat ball. Quang Bui may have been a bit of a surprise in this tournament in that he had to win his way through against some very tough competition, and early on had not been figured to be here in the final, but here he is nonetheless. It is 1-3 as Doyle has a bit of trouble on his own opening serve. 1-4, and he'll turn the serve over now to Quang Bui as Bui leads 4-1.
Bui started off a couple of points here against Doyle's service, making strong offensive shots. Got Dean a little flustered.
Oh, excellent placement by Bui. Great return by Doyle, but then Bui puts him away.
It was an excellent retrieve. He had to dive down on the floor, but the return was weak.
Doyle tries to return the ball as out of an underhand flip there, and he bounced it off the ceiling, and it has rolled back behind him. We'll have a brief delay while he retrieves the ball for Bui, and then we will resume with the score right now 5-1 in favor of Bui in the first game, best of 5 for the singles championship.
Net service. Take it over.
6-1. Bui with great concentration on that ball just before he strikes it in the serve, Jim.
Yes, that serve was very wide, cross court, hard hit ball, moving Dean out of position.
Right for the moment, Bui seems to have Dean Doyle a bit out of his game. He's taken him out of it with his service. He's won a couple of points with the serve, and so far Doyle has not been able to get into his rhythm. He's down 7-1.
Missed that smash.
7-2.
7-2.
Bui serving near court. And again he missed the smash. A bit long as he tried to loop.
Well, Bui's preferred style of play is go for that point just as soon as he gets an opportunity, and he's had a couple of balls there that normally he would hit, but he just tried to overpower them. And as a result, he missed a couple, but he won that last point on 2 good loops.
So he didn't go away from his game when it seemed not to be working well for him. He came right back, stayed with it, and picked up the point there. Here he goes again.
Oh, beautiful chop by Dean Doyle, but Quang Bui just blasted it past him. Awfully powerful forehand by Quang Bui.
Bui, the left-hander. Doyle, right-hander. Doyle with that deep crouch for the serve, and it goes now to 3-10, and Doyle has gone for the towel. Jim, while we have that quick break in play there, wanted to ask you a question about playing the left-hander now that you have the conventional right-hander against the wrong-sider, if you will.
Yes.
Does it make it particularly difficult? Are the spins at you coming in a different manner? Is it hard to handle?
Well, the spins just break to you differently on the loop strokes. The little bit of side spin that comes on the ball from the left-hander is hooking into your body if it goes down the line. It's just a matter of having to adjust yourself to the way the ball hops.
So perhaps it takes a player who's more used to playing the right-handers a bit of time just to get used to the way the spin's coming.
Get a little bit adjusted. It bounces off the table and hops a little different, jumps the wrong way, as you said. But these two players have played each other enough times to where that's really not a salient characteristic in who's going to win and who's going to lose.
Oh, Bui is long with a couple of tries, and it's 10-7 now as Doyle begins to get back in it after being down 7-1. There's the high toss.
Too long.
10-8.
Struck the ball a little too high before it got down close to the table, and it bounced hard off the table and went too long.
Bui has lost 3 straight points on his own service. Now he finally wins one, and it becomes 11-8.
Did that touch on that side, Quang? 10-9.
Okay, Dean thought his shot, he caught the edge, and
the referee umpire agrees with him. He says it's 10-9. So Dean has won 4 straight points against Bui's service.
Oh, beautiful smash.
And Bui makes it 11-9.
Quang Bui, excellent footwork, moving around, opening up that forehand opportunity. Missed that smash. Good chop ball. Nice spin by Dean Doyle there.
10-11.
And Dean's come right back into this game. He's making it tight.
He was down 7-1. So that's a great comeback for Dean Doyle. But he's a bit long on that one. 10-12. Two very determined young men going after this singles crown here in Portland, Oregon. That one's long.
That's nice placement by Dean Doyle. Deep into Bui's backhand, made Dean move around for his forehand a little too much. Didn't have enough time for the shot.
A diving try by
Almost.
Doyle, but into the net. So 11-13. And a brief respite as once again they go to the towels.
Dean, I think, is heading to the towels. He did it once and made a comeback, and hopefully he's trying that same tactic again.
That'll make it 13-12, or check that, 14-11 Bui, as Bui now takes the serve. This young man who was the U.S. Open Junior Doubles champion with Dean Doyle back in 1977. So as you say, Jim, they have known each other for some time.
Excellent point there. Good retrieving by Dean Doyle, and he finally came in.
Watch this one again. This is an excellent point, excellent play. Doyle comes
There's
to the
Dean
net.
coming in for that final smash after making several brilliant defensive returns.
14-12. Quang Bui leading.
Very deep serve,
15.
caught the edge of the table and bounced off the bottom edge of Dean's racket.
Dean just was not able to return that one. So 15-12 now. Game 1, best of 5 championship finale. Excellent
Boy, beautiful shot. Beautiful.
16-12 is the score. You know, Harvard is the official table of this tournament in Portland, Oregon. For home or tournament play, remember, it's Harvard tables.
Excellent equipment.
Well, I'd certainly say this for the Harvard table here in Portland. It has given us yeoman service, some excellent play. Smash by Bui.
Dean tried the short drop shot that time, landed very, very shallow on the table, popped up a little bit, and Quang Bui smashed it away.
12-18.
Nice serve by Dean.
13-18.
So good exchange there. Dean got Quang Bui back away from the table.
Dean trying to close the gap now, 4 points down, but of course with Bui up at 18, only 3 away from winning the game, makes it very difficult. And Bui narrows it down to only 2 points necessary to win the game now at 14-19.
14-19.
Dean Doyle there in the green on your right. Quang Bui on the left in dark blue. Well, he went for it and missed, and it was a good effort by Dean, but just, again, that very minute miss. And he tried to put it away with a smash and did not. And game at 21-14 goes to Quang Bui. Bui wins at 21-14. That gives him a lead 1-0 in the best of 5 singles finals here in the Northwest Table Tennis Open Championship in Portland, Oregon. And we will be back with more of the great action on assume that their physical stamina is not a problem for them.
It shouldn't be. It's been a difficult tournament. There haven't been a lot of matches, but all the players in this championship event were top caliber players. I think it was only a 4-round tournament. 32 players entered. Almost. Ball caught the side of the table that time.
Not the playing surface. And so it will become 4-3. 4-3 the score. Servers score first, so Dean Doyle is leading in game number 2 of the best of 5 finals. There's the loop.
Oh, beautiful loop by
Oh,
Bui.
didn't he
Right
hit
down
that
the
one?
line. Yes, he did.
So 4-all. Tried it again, didn't get it that time.
5-4.
Bui's been really opening up the offensive shots, going to win the point on the very first shot that he hits. Doyle trying to play a little more consistently, keep the ball in play, and move Bui around. But last game, he was unsuccessful.
4-6 now. And Doyle missed the shot on the return, so it is 5-6. I know these two young men would like very much to beat each other. There's perhaps a little more riding on this than just the normal finale of a tournament. 5-7, and that will make it 6-7 as Quang Bui gains the point there against Dean Doyle. Dean bouncing up and down. And that went long as he tried for the loop, and it becomes 6-8. And that time, Dean simply couldn't handle the spin on the service.
That ball almost bounced for the second time on the end of the table, so Dean had to be a little tentative about his loop stroke that he attempted on that one, thinking, oh, is that ball going to bounce or is it not going to bounce? And his timing was off just a little bit as a result. But right now, Dean's having much better luck keeping the ball in play. He's placing the ball well on the table, making Bui move before he can take those strong offensive shots. There was a serve wide to Bui's forehand. He didn't quite get there in time to make it.
Dean Doyle, a member of the Pan American Games team for the United States, and undoubtedly in 1983 would like to be right there again when they go down to Caracas, Venezuela to play in the Pan Am Games, now as a full official competitive sport. And of course the table tennis committee is now part of the U.S. Olympic Committee, so plans somewhere down the road in the future that Table tennis will become a full Olympic sport as well.
Yes, it is. Coming up in 1984. And these two players we're looking at here are some of the strongest contenders to be on that team.
Well, it'll be a good one if both of these young men go.
11-9.
Quang Bui, the young man serving, leading 11-9. The summers of 78 and 79. He was one of the junior players invited to go to Japan for training and scored wins over the Japanese junior champion.
12-9.
And he was, during that training, recognized as the #1 player in the Japanese training history in all fields of the game. So, very promising young man, only 17 years of age. And here he goes to the high toss serve now. Ooh, did he try to put that one away, Jim? He's really
going for the flat hits when he has the slightest opportunity from Dean. And as can be seen by the score, he's making more than he's missing. Gosh, good smash. Great return by Dean.
Dean just ran out of room in that defensive position. Early in the tournament, we had seen Dean Doyle play surprisingly, we thought, defensively by going back away from the table and do it with great success. But against Bui, he's not been able to do it in this match.
That's right. In the semifinal match, Dean was playing against Sears, and Sears' offense was a little hampered. He seemed to be very tentative on his strokes, and Bui would go back and lob up a couple of balls, and Sears would eventually miss one. But Bui's flat hit, when Dean lands one shallow on the table, Bui's hit is just devastating. That loop was just phenomenal.
That was diagonal from corner to corner of the table. He just went from one extreme corner to the other, and it is now 11-14 as Bui has the 3-point lead here in game 2. Cut it to 2 points. It becomes 12-14. Dean Doyle serving. Doyle moving away from the table, but long as he tried for the loop, but he was long, and it's 12-15.
Oh, gosh, great smash.
Wasn't that?
Bui just smashed it right on the corner of the table.
Watch it again. This is worth looking at again. Watch Bui as he just almost destroys the ball now.
That loop for the setup, but watch where this ball lands on the corner of the table on that smash, right on the corner.
You can't be any more perfect than that. I don't know whether perfection actually has degrees or not, Jim, but if it does, that was the ultimate degree of perfection right
yes,
there.
Yes, it was. It landed right on where the white lines intersected, right at that corner of the table.
12-16.
And so a 4-point edge for Quang Bui. 12-16. Doyle serving in that deep crouch. 13-16.
Nice serve by Dean. Very deceptive, deep into Bui's backhand.
Oh, no, that didn't hit the table, did it?
It was a let. It hit the net, but it fell off. Did not hit the table. It would have been a let serve had it fallen on, but it went off.
Went on over, so it's a point.
Bui's point.
13-17. And long by Quang Bui. 17-14 now. As Bui serves. And again tried to put away the winner, but failed to do it at 17-15. Dean Doyle staying right with him in this match.
Oh, good loop by Dean.
17-16, and Doyle is right back in it now. Trails by only the 1 point.
3 straight points off of Bui's serve. Very surprising.
17-16.
Excellent play by Dean, though. Nice touch drop shot by Dean that time.
Chopped that one. And Dean's return is long, and it becomes 18-16 for Quang Bui. And he once again is getting very close to putting his man away in game 2, which would give him a commanding lead in the game.
Dean needs this point off Bui's serve desperately to stay in it at 17-18 coming into his own serve.
And he got it. It'll be 17-18 as Doyle takes the serve, trailing by only 1 point. Singles final.
Dean needs to convert on his own serves.
That one's in the rafters and back on his own side. He'll lose that point at 17-19. Look at the stance of Bui there as he wide spreads off the corner of the table, waiting to accept the serve from Dean Doyle. Oh, and he missed. It was long.
It's a nice side spin loop return by Dean. Jumped into Bui's forehand and made the shot go wide.
18-19.
So it is 18-19 now.
Nice counter loop by Doyle.
Doyle got the winner he was looking for to tie the match at 19-all now. And he now has an opportunity to go on and win it on his serve.
Oh, he missed
gives
his
it
own
away.
serve. Oh,
He
no.
gave it away that time when he put the serve in the net. So it is now 19-20, and we are at game point here. Quang Bui leading, but Doyle can force deuce.
19-20.
Big point here, Jim.
Bui missed his smash, and it's deuce.
Good game.
So they'll go to deuce now, alternating serve, win by 2. 20-20. Bui won the first game, 21-14. Takes 3 out of 5 to win the match and the championship. And Doyle takes the point, the advantage on Bui's serve. And so now it is Doyle serving and leading 21-20.
I know he's thinking about that last serve he missed. Here's Bui, concentration. Net service. Oh,
Doyle got it.
Good block by Doyle.
And Doyle wins it 22-20. So as you take a look at that last point again, here it is. There's the serve, the return. He goes across the table, and it's a bit long. And so Doyle wins it at deuce 22-20. They're even in games at 1 apiece, and we'll be back from the Northwest Open with more on ESPN. Quang Bui, young man in the dark blue, picked up a 21-14 victory in the second game, or in the third game, his second victory. So he now leads 2 games to 1. And at this point, Bui is also leading in the fourth game. And for Quang Bui, 17 years old, this could be the game that wins the championship for him. Dean Doyle simply must come back and win if he wants to stay alive, Jim.
That's right. We've had some exciting action. There's Bui attempting a loop that hit the edge of his racket, going deep.
So 13-15 now as Dean Doyle serves. And Bui lets that ball go long. He wisely watched it go on by. Dean Doyle there on the left. 13-16. Quang Bui, 17 years old, from Bellevue, Washington, leading. Make it 14-16.
Well, now Bui's ahead 14 or 16-14 now as he takes over the serve. But Dean Doyle in this game, starting out early, was down 8-2. So he's made a strong comeback. He's only down now by 2, make it 3.
Oh, and Dean was disappointed with himself on that one as he hit long. He thought perhaps he could get that one in and get things turned his way once again. But now it is 17-14. Here's Bui on the serve. He has played very, very, very well indeed in this entire match.
Awfully powerful forehand smash, and we've seen a lot of them by Quang Bui thus far in this match.
Bui's a stockily built young man, very strong, and has shown great stamina in this tournament. Doyle has shown a few signs of tiring a little bit during the singles final.
Oh, good exchange here.
Good rally.
Bui drops one in the net. Dean must have the next several points to try to tighten it up. 18-15 in favor of Bui. Bui letting Dean think about it right now. Oh, he missed. Oh, that's one of the first high balls we've seen Bui miss.
And he just drove that into the net that time.
Net service. 18-16. Dean tightening it up here on Bui's service.
Again long.
Oh, Dean knew that was a good shot.
That one had him as he tried to return it, but he just knew he could not get it in.
Bui sitting there shaking his fist.
Quang Bui is really now only 2 points.
Oh, good play.
So look at that shot. Then by Quang Bui.
Bui smashed it right down the line. Had Doyle backed up to the barriers.
17-20, match point.
So match point now for Quang Bui. He needs only 1 more point to put it away. There's the score. And Quang Bui is the young man who needs but this 1 point. Dean Doyle has no margin for error.
Here's Dean trying to think of that best serve. Very short. Bui shot went off.
18-20.
Saved 1 match point. 18-20.
Let.
Net service.
He must stave off several more, however, to stay alive in this championship match.
Oh, good loop by Dean. Bui's shot off the top of the net, 19-20.
19-20.
Now he needs one more point. They've lost the ball under the table momentarily,
Oh,
but
Quang, it's on
he
your end
needs
of
one
it.
more point to force deuce here in game 4. Bui won the first game, 21-14.
19-20.
Dean Doyle came back
Got
to
it.
win a deuce game in the second, 22-20. Then Bui came right back and won 21-14 again in game 3 to lead 2 games to 1.
Match point.
Oh,
Bui,
they'll go to deuce.
Bui hit it in net, 20-all.
So they will go to deuce now, 20-all.
Great comeback against 3 match points by Dean Doyle.
Deuce game.
Excellent fight to stay alive for the championship here in his hometown.
Oh, good top spin serve by Bui.
And
Dean
he
popped it up a little bit, and Bui
goes
put it
right back
away.
to match point.
Again, 4th one.
Doyle ready. Bui has walked around there to the towels on the far side of the table, so Dean will do the same thing.
Thinking
Now we're
it
ready.
over.
Oh, got it.
Oh, the
Caught the
serve
table.
looked too deep. It caught the edge of the table.
Caught the edge of the table. He service ace, and we're back to deuce again at 21. So they are tied at 21 all. Quang Bui, there he is, ready to serve first. They alternate serves in the deuce.
Oh, beautiful loop.
Beautiful shot.
Terrific. That was an excellent service return by Dean Doyle, and Quang Bui just looped it right down the line away.
22-21. It'll go over to 21-22 now. Doyle will take the serve.
Again,
And
against his
21-22.
5th match point.
Again, match point. And remember that from the pressure standpoint, Bui has the advantage that even if he loses this game, then he would have another game. Doyle cannot afford to lose the point. Bui wins it. The shot is long, and Bui wins it 23-21 as they went twice to deuce. Quang Bui, 17 years old from Bellevue, Washington, the winner over 19-year-old Dean Doyle. What a great match it was in the Northwest Open Championship, and we'll be back to wrap it up on ESPN. Singles championship in the Northwestern Open Table Tennis Tournament, and Jim McQueen, we saw some great play.
It was terrific. Tung Fan and Apachart Sears winning the doubles 3 straight over Jay Crystal and Judy Bohinski. Dean Doyle winning the hard rubber event over Ponte. Tim Sayer finishing up the under 17 doubles, and then, as you said, Quang Bui.
Thank you very much, Jim McQueen. This is Bob Robertson from Portland, Oregon. So long.